Good morning all. Yeah, we're done on automation. First, a very quick introduction of myself. Who am I? Chris Donkelaar, you can find me on Twitter. My name is Chris Donkelaar. I'm just a normal network engineer with a little passion for Wi-Fi. I'm always interested in new developments, new technologies, and yeah, automation is a big part of it. I'm working hard to work less hard, and I'll try to automate everything. So, I first want to make clear that this is no introduction to automation, and I want to redirect to the presentation given by Peter McKenzie at the WLAN break. So, if you want to know more about network automation, then please watch this presentation. What it is a little bit about how you can use code and how this code can help you. And in the end, get you started with automation. I know everyone finds it scary, and fed on my bed show. So yeah, hopefully a little start into it and small steps can get you further. So how can code help you? Well, code can handle large amounts of data very quickly, so it's efficient. It can repeat tasks very easily. All the dull, repetitive tasks that you really have to do every time, code can help you with that, and yeah, it doesn't complain when it have to repeat it 100 times or more. Code is consistent, so what you want the code to do, the code is going to do. It can break things, but it can also fix things. So please be careful also. Well, code is persistent. It keeps going on what you want it to do until the end of your code, or when it's ready. But code also gives you flexibility. All the vendors have their monitoring, their displays, their data that they want you to show, to see. With code, you can create your own. You can get the data you want and yeah, handle it the way you want it to. So how can you use code? Well, let's start by defining your use case. And I'll get back to this later. Explore what you need. So, what data do I need? How do I interact with the device I want the data from, etc. Then write your code. Sit back and relax. So, I've got 4 use cases defined that I want to have a dive deeper in after the first introduction. So what do you want to achieve first? Make sure you have a clear goal. You don't want to just go and do something. You will get bored. You will lose your enthusiasm. So make a clear goal and try to get to that goal. And also make the afweging. Is it worth the time investment? One way, do you want to invest the time? The other way is your company willing to pay the time to invest in it? So there's always a trade-off between, okay, how big is my task I have to do? What am I going to win? And how fast am I if I do it manually? And always remember, when you start with these things, it will cost you a lot of time. But by doing it, you will get better at it, you will get faster, you will get less errors. And so the break-even point between the manual investment versus the automated investment will get lower and lower. So I've got 4 use cases. I've got an issue upgrade on the Cisco WLAN. I've got finding non-working and statically configured radius missed. Configure a missed AP for an access point on a stick site survey, and add names to your project file. So you can see that things can be very diverse. And yeah, try to find your use case and make something for it. Always start with exploring what you need. And what language I'm going to write. Is Python, that's most used language among network engineers at the moment, I think. Go is getting traction and has its strong points. But yeah, if you are good at PowerShell, why not? Also PowerShell can interact with APIs, can extract data and fill the data. So grab what you want. Then how can you get the data that you want? Has the device an API? Do I have to log in, give a CLI command and extract the feedback it gives? Do we need extra tooling? Do we need some libraries that help me on my job, filtering of interacting with the device? And how can we extract the data that we want? By using an API, mostly the data is structured, so it's already ordered. You can quite easily use it. Or is it unstructured, and do we need to filter it first? So the structured data is already easy to get pressed. It's suitable to store in a database. It's great to work with, and mostly used with APIs, but it's unstructured. Then you have to define what you want to use. You have to filter it. You have to use methods to get the output that you want, the data that you want, and you can use. And mostly with CLI scraping, so giving a CLI command and handling the feedback it gives is unstructured. So yeah, then you have to make use of extra middle to get your unstructured data structured. So you can make use of regex, you can use word or line matching. But there's also tooling that can help you with the filtering. It's predefined. So especially for the Cisco, for the Junipers, for the Aristas, TextFSM is a great tool that does the filtering for you and gives you back the structured data that you can use. Aruba can be difficult, but TTP is also, I use the TTP a lot with Aruba to get also the data structured. But yeah, try to find the tooling that can help you. It's really you don't have to be ashamed that you use other men's work to help you. So then you have the data that you want. What are you going to do with it? Do you want to just show it on screen? Do you want to store it in a database for others to interact with? Or do you want to evaluate it and take action upon the values you receive? And do you want to take action by interacting again with the device? And how do you interact with that device? Do you again make the API call? Or do you push back configuration using a CLI? And then again, we have the whole manual or the whole process again to see if all the values that we want are there. So then, write your code. First thing, you can only get better by doing it. So repeat, repeat, repeat. Start small without really pushing things back. If you want to push a show commando or a configuration command, just show it on screen. Just print the output that you want to push and verify that it does what you want it to do. Copying code can be quite useful. ChatGPT is quite much used by myself. but make sure that you understand what is done in the code. So it makes your work faster, but know what your code does and understand what it does, and combine your own writing with copying to make your code complete. Don't expect yourself to write code perfectly the first time. So sometimes you come by a script that you wrote, you completely erase it and write it from scratch again, because you evolved yourself, you get better, and use other methods. And then annotate, annotate, annotate. So in your code, always explain what you are doing. So if someone else is using your code, it can easily understand what you do, what you want to achieve in the different parts of the codes. So it can help you or go further with it. And then sit back and relax. So if I want to dive into the use cases, fine. So I saw that created a script that did the ISO upgrade on the older WLAN controllers of Cisco. And these are the steps that I wanted to make. So first of all, I want to grab all the information of all the IPs and create a map of all the neighbors of all the IPs. Their signal strengths, etc. Their MAC addresses. I want to pick all the IPs that hear each other under a set signal strength. So I can create a map of all the IPs that are far enough to not interrupt each other when they are going down. Then, of all those IPs that I picked, I changed the master controller so they are set to an upgraded controller. They go to the process of reboot, getting the image and upgrade. Then I wanted my script to verify that all the IPs that I wanted to upgrade are back online, and once they are back online, I mark them as upgraded, and I do the whole process again. But I ignore the ones that are already upgraded. So in this task, I upgraded the environment of Erasmus, the healthcare, the Erasmus ziekenhuis. I pushed the button in the morning at 9 o'clock, and it was ready at 5. And I didn't have to do anything. They didn't note it. I didn't have to do anything else, just to turn them to wait. So.
Did you have a question?
Yep.
Did you do a preposition before you moved it to the other control?
Yep. So, before I started, I make a plan. Then I have to dive into, okay, what do I need? So, okay, the language, it's going to be in Python. How am I getting the data I want? It's going to be the old Cisco WLAN, it's CLI scraping. So it's giving show commandos and evaluating the data that comes back. For the interaction, I used NetBeacon. For the data extraction of all the unstructured data, I used the regex. And then during the process, I wanted to show results on screen. So I wanted to know what it was doing, what APs it was upgrading, but also I wanted to store it apart in a CSV file, so I can always, when it broke down, I always know where it was, what APs are done, etc. And then the configuration is again done in NetBeacon. Well, this is a little screenshot of some parts, and you can see how I just I want all the words in the line separately, so I just do a regex. I pick my things I want to pick out. I also do accept. I try to do it, but I have to take into account that it can go wrong, that it can give an error. What do I want to do with that error? The next use case is one of Keith Miller. I'm allowed to show it to you. He just wrote it on its blog. And it's about finding the non-working and statically configured radios in MIST. So, what is his plan of getting the data he wants? So he gets all the radio information of all IPs. It checks the values to see if there's any error or misconfiguration. He wants to store all the wrong IPs in the database, so the database can be used for a Grafana dashboard to show all the IPs that are wrongly configured in a dashboard. So what language did he use? He switched over from Python to Golang because Golang has the option of concurrency. So in MIST, he had to connect to different ORs. Golang was able to connect to those different ORs parallel instead of sequentially. Well, MIST uses its API, so he just made API calls to get all the data of the AP radios. Filtering was just, it was the API call, so he got the data back as structured data. It was JSON data, and he just had to filter for the values that he wanted. He stored the results in the database, and he did nothing with the device configuration because it was an RMA feature, and just had to know which APs are affected, so we could ship them back. So you can see, he especially told about the numbers of APs that he found. And although it's quite small, it started with one access point having on the left side having a radio issue on 5 gigahertz. So he then evaluated 300,000 APs in 1.5 hours and found 173 that were configured with this value, disabled. On the other side, he found 92 APs that had no key value pair, so that's in the structured data, for channel. So here you can see that he used coding to extract first one AP and then evaluate the whole bunch of APs to see which ones are affected. And he said, although the numbers are quite small, when these numbers are creeping in and it just expands. He said, I just want to know that I want to know everything that's wrong, so we can fix it. And 1.5 hours is a lot faster than doing it manually. Then another example of Francois. He created a script for configuring a waste AP for AP on stick site survey. Again, he made a template of what does he want it to do. So he wants to create a new site. He wants to enable the AP config, the persistence AP config for the AP on stick. We validate if the 2.4 gigahertz was not already there, create it. Validate if the 5 gigahertz was there, if not, create it. If the AP was not claimed, claim the AP. So here you can see all the steps that we also do the validation. Is it there? No, create. Is it there? Yes, continue. So all that's also that coding can help you with the validation steps. So you just give him a list of, okay, is it this, is this, is this, is this, then do Y. He writes in Python. Well, it's MIST, so he does the data gathering in API. It's filtering of structured data, so that's nice. He shows the results right on display, and he does the device configuration, and that's one mistake I see here. It's not CLI commands, but he does the API calls. And here's a config file for the AP on the stick as a JSON data, and you can see that it's neatly structured. You can get your data in and out easily. You don't have to do much effort for it. Also a nice one is the adding of the IP names to your account project files. So you've done your site survey, you've seen all your IPs around, but your names are larger than 16 characters. Echo is displaying, but you want the full names to be in Echo, or in the information element. It's the name of the AP bounded to some characters. So he wants to get the full name of the AP in the Echo file. So he gets all the AP data from the WLC. He extract the MAC and AP name info for every AP, and then does a match in his account file of this MAC address is corresponding to this AP name. Change the AP name and update the account file. Also written in Python, and again you have to combine different methods of using your data. So the WLC is CLI scraping. He uses NetBeak over it. Does a text matching for filtering of unstructured data. It does show its results on display, and then doesn't configure the device, the WLC, but it configures an Echo project file that just uses Echo files use a zip file with structured data in it, so it just use the unzip to get all the JSON data out of it, edits the JSON data, and then zips it back. So on the left you see, how he does the matching. If there is a line matching this criteria you set, then pick something and use that data. And in the Echo file, you see, it's just a zip file with JSON data. It does an unzip, packs the data into a JSON file, so it's easy to edit. So, a little introduction of how I see the use case of code and how it can help you. Feel free to reach out, discuss ideas, exchange code, and make your life easier. Any questions?
Well, the feedback from last year was that you want longer breaks so you can more socialize. So we go for a 20-minute break. So a little bit past 11:30. We will start with a little bit past. So enjoy your break.